Hey guys, we are back with another video, and this is of course what if Naruto dropped the facade. Slash was fucking OP. I'm not going to be doing a recap because it wastes time within the video. I'm not trying to say anything about one of my favorite YouTubers, Anime King, but yeah. I'm not trying to say anything about. Oh, I didn't say anything about Anime King. I didn't say anything about Anime King. I mean, honestly, like, I don't see a point in recaps. Like, if you watch the other video, then you watch the other video, and that's cool. But if you didn't, you didn't. You just missed some shit. Like, honestly, Anime King, like spending 4 minutes inside of a video, Anime King, just for to do a recap, Anime King. So yeah, I don't see any point in recaps. So yeah, Ryu and Teiju's eyes opened wide as they looked at the man sitting in that chair. They felt a terrifying amount of chakra pulsing off of him naturally. Then a woman walked in as her beautiful red hair in overwhelming amounts of chakra took Ryu and Teiju off guard. Naruto, our soldiers or shinobi have been lacking in terms of power lately. As Naruto then looked up towards Zabuza, as Zabuza then began to sweat as he stepped back a bit, bumping into Ryu and Teiju. So, we're allowing nobodies, shinobi who can't even protect themselves, to join our village. Well, hey, I mean, you can't say anything because they're, some of them are, the ones who passed are able to go against me and each and every one of us, as he gestured towards himself and Corin. Each and every one of us are easily above Kage level. So it's kind of their fault for lacking on training or something. As Naruto then sighed heavily as he got up. Then he disappeared in front of Zabuza as he looked up at the man. And then he punched him in the stomach as Zabuza coughed a bit. You may leave, Naruto said, as then Zabuza walked out of the room as he began to cough heavily outside of the room. This guy is not even killer intent, and I'm scared. Let's see these guys' potential. Karen, if they can face you, since you are the strongest of my general, if they can lay a finger on you, then Zabuza was correct. If they can't, then Zabuza was wrong. And his punishment will be no pudding for a week. As Zabuza then rushed into the room, as he then glared heavily at Ryu and Teiju, As Ryu and Teju sweat dropped. No pudding for a week? This guy seems not too scary after all. Alright, Corinne said, as she said, come on. As in Ryu and Teju disappeared, going to touch her. As in shock. Once they tried to touch her, since they were holding back because of the fact that she was a girl, once they tried to touch her, it seemed like she wasn't moving. But they couldn't touch her as she yawned. You're so slow. It's like you're moving in slow motion. As Naruto then began to glare heavily at Zabuza. As Zabuza then began to glare heavily at them. As they jumped back. 100%, he yelled out. Both of them yelled out. Going at 100% speed as they chakra enhanced their entire body. As they disappeared trying to touch Curran. As Curran just dodged out of the way with practical ease. As she was so fast it looked like she was just standing right there. You're too slow, she said. As then she disappeared. Yeah, the batch is a little bit weaker than last week's batch, but their potential, based on their fighting style, is around as high as I'd say Kakashi's. Since he is the strongest, he is the second the strongest of the generals, besides me, of course, she said with a smirk on her face. Kareem just said that you're worth it. But if you're not worth it, if you prove her expectations wrong, then death shall befall you instantly, Naruto said. As both of them began to sweat heavily, Naruto was not the joking type. They could just tell it from his aura. As then, Naruto began to burst out laughing. You seen the way that I straightened them out instantly? As Current laughed herself, as Zabuza began to chuckle. Then, Kakashi burst into the room. We've spotted 13 scouts or spies. I don't know what they are. Alright, Naruto said. Send out these guys. What? But we're only A rank nin. You're not A rank. If Zabuza said that if Zabuza even selected you, then that means that you've gotten to the level of at least S rank. Otherwise, Zabuza would be slipping, and I know he isn't. Naruto said, once looking towards Zabuza. As both of them said, alright, while breathing out heavily. Basically outside of the village. Quickly, they began to notice a description. On one of the walls, on one of the posters that they had read before joining the village, while they were inside the village, resting for their training, from the hard work that their training was, it had descriptions of two people. A pink-haired girl who is fluent in Genjutsu and Uchiha. And they saw two of them. They saw both of the figures. Who are you? Ryu and Teju said towards the scouts. We are the Hokage's elite force. It seems that there's a new village, and we wanted to scout it to see whether it's worth having an alliance with. As then, Zabuza, no, as then Sasuke and basically Sakura noticed something. The gigantic statues of Naruto and Kakashi. But, and then under them was RIP, as in rest in peace or rest in paradise, however y'all want to say it. So, this is the wave, Sasuke said, remembering the statues that they had faintly saw before leaving. So, Sasuke said while cricking his neck, this is wave. It seems that you've become a shinobi village. Ryu and Teju said while cracking their neck. Then Ryu disappeared, slicing off the head of one of the shinobi. Then he kicked him in the balls, destroying it. Then he poked a hole through their chest with his elbow. Then they disappeared, kicking their leg, then slamming his hand on their head, making it splat on the ground. Then he kicked one of them, destroying his body completely. Sasuke was shooketh. He had two eye holes for his mask, and they showed his glaring Mangekyo. His glaring eternal Mangekyo. As he was shooketh, these guys had moved. This guy had moved at speeds that his Mangekyo, his eternal Mangekyo, could not pick up. So he was quite sure that these guys were monsters. Don't kill the pink-haired one in the... What was his? In the Uchiha, Teijin said, as both of them looked at him. After all, they were former comrades of the leader. As Sasuke looked shooketh. What do you mean? Oh, I forgot. It was word in Konoha that Naruto, the leader, actually died. But over here, the leader has become the leader of this village. So, I'm pretty sure he would want to see his former teammates. As Ryu then said, okay. Fire style! Hellish Inferno! As flames burst out of his mouth, erasing the bodies. Come on, follow us, Ryu and Teju said as they followed them. Because even though they had killed one of their partners, they felt like if they didn't follow them, they were going to kill them. And Sasuke hadn't even had powerful children yet. So he didn't want to die just yet. So yeah, as they followed, they arrived in the office. Naruto sat in his desk as he was writing out paperwork. Ryu, Teijin, Lord Lord Uzukage is not ready for you. He's not ready for you yet. You have to wait a bit. I'm sorry, he said with a smirk on his face, as then he picked up a cord. As he handed the lady at the desk the slip. Oh, Then head on in. As then the lady led them to the Hokage's room. Well, the Uzu Cage room or office. As they arrived, Sakura and Sasuke were shook. It was almost like seeing a ghost. There was a man sitting in a chair, going through paperwork as he sighed. Chakra, chakra, chakra. Boom! As the room door closed, Naruto had used his overwhelmingly good wind release techniques to close the door and lock the door as well. So, Sakura, Sasuke, what you doing? It's been a long time, Naruto said, as Sakura and Sasuke looked shooketh. They didn't know that Naruto was still alive. Even though the guys had told them, it was still a shock to know that their former teammate was still alive. Naruto, you become a Kage? No, not yet. I am the leader of this village, though, he said. So, what's up? As Sakura then just looked at him, they knew how hard it was to get to the village. Just like with the Whirlpool village, the only thing that allowed, like, there was pretty much whirlpools swirling around using artificial whirlpools, which are used by the Uzumaki. These are basically seals that they activated. So they also had a lot more water, and the water was deeper. And the escape had changed a bit. This was a result of Naruto's massively strong affinities towards water. Towards all the fucking affinities. I mean, come on, your boy has to be OP. And the seals, they had multiple chakra eating seals, which sucked up chakra so quick that the only reason why Sasuke's Mangekyo was still activated was because of the fact that he was basically, he had trained so hard in the Eternal Mangekyo to the point where it didn't require constant chakra flow into it, basically. So, Sakura said, as the mood was very awkward. They hadn't seen their former teammate in years. A sigh rang as then Kakashi then walked in. What's up, Sakura? What's up, Sasuke? As Sasuke was shooketh. Sensei? Yup, it's me. And then he raised up his hands, being ignorant. So, both of y'all were alive this entire time, and y'all just didn't bother to tell us. Sasuke. No one cares. What we care about is the fact that we're alive. That's what you should care about. Naruto said, looking towards Sasuke, as Sasuke then smiled. You do know that that the Leaf Village has been looking for you, and Jiraiya Sensei has gone crazy. Jiraiya Sensei, Naruto said, as he said it in a questioning tone. Oh, we met the Toad Sage, and he claimed to be your godfather and such. And since he couldn't train you, he decided he would train me. Since what he thought was that you went out protecting me, so he had to protect me as well. So yeah, he basically trained me for these years. As Naruto then smirked. Family. I don't have that anymore. All the family who are tied towards the Leaf Village are dead to me. Even Ichiraku. Of course, if he were to join my village, I would be okay with his presence. I still love those who who treated me right. As for you, I honestly hate you with every single part of my body. As Naruto looked devilishly at Sasuke. So, dope, Sasuke said, as he said it in a kind way, trying to pull up the past or plant the seeds of the past. As Naruto then grit his teeth. Don't call me that, faggot. As Sasuke's eyes opened widely. What do you mean, faggot? I mean, it's honestly obvious. Every girl within the Leaf Village wanted your seed. They wanted to be the soil. But what do? Nah. You ignore them. It seems kind of gay to me. As Sasuke just blinked. Okay, first, it's not gay. I've just never met a girl that I like. And then Ryu laughed. Gay. I'm calling it out right now. He's gay. As then Sasuke rushed at Naruto. Then a girl appeared in front of him. She stopped his fist instantly with one finger as Sasuke was shook. Who is this? Oh, I forgot. You don't know about my clan. Her name is Karen Uzumaki. She's my girlfriend, as I would say. As Sasuke's eyes opened widely. She's your girlfriend? Of course, you thought I would just casually be gay. No, I actually have interest in girls, Naruto said as Sasuke grit his teeth. He was sick and tired of Naruto trying to call him gay. I'm not gay, dope, Sasuke said, clearly showing that he didn't like the name that Naruto was calling him. Alright, now let's get into this. I have decided that I want you to join my village right now. Otherwise, you could say goodbye to your clan. You'll meet them all in the afterlife. So I'd be doing you kind of a favor, Naruto said, as Sasuke looked at him. I won't join your pitiful. As then his skin began to crawl. Oh, also another technique of the Uzumaki clan. Did you know that our chakra, the reason why our chakra is so fit for controlling Tail Beast is because of the fact that our clan, is a direct descendant of the Sage of Six Paths. And the Sage of Six Paths created the Biju. Like, could you imagine? Anyway, Naruto said with a smirk on his face. He created the Biju. The Biju then were supposed to be worshipped as gods. But just like with my father, the people didn't respect his wishes. So they hated the Tail Beast. They controlled them. They were selfish fools. They wanted their power. But the Tail Beast chakra is extremely toxic, Naruto said, as he unleashed a tiny mist of Tail Beast chakra. As it flew towards Sakura began to drop towards the ground as she began to cough violently. When she tried to clear her throat, her chakra system was going to shut down. As then the mist flew out of her and back into Naruto's hand as she got up slowly while rubbing on her throat. Because of how toxic their chakra is, Uzumaki were born with so much chakra in the Kekkei Genkai. Similar towards the wood release, we can suppress and also take the chakra of the Biju using Uzumaki chains. As he then whipped it around, Sakura's limited chakra pools were being sucked out by Naruto. As Naruto then repumped the chakra back into her, making her get back up. Because of this fact, the Sharingan was also created. The Sharingan was meant for extra assurance to control the Tail Beast. Oh, and also, did you know that I am sort of your cousin? Did you know that the Uzumaki, Senju, and Uchiha clan actually came from brothers? The Uchiha clan, Injura, also Susuke, or the first Uchiha, and Ashura, also Susuke, the first Senju Uzumaki hybrid. Since I, Naruto Uzumaki, am a perfect mix because of my Biju, I have learned to do this, he said, as his eyes began to glow red. I didn't know that Uzumaki and Senju possibly could have a side effect of the bloodlines being taken in and diffused. This side effect is a semi-Sharingan, as you can see from my eyes, Naruto said with a smirk on his face, which means that you're nothing special. You're just another boy. But of course, the Uchiha clan had to take something as well from us. They have the chance, which is very low, to gain immense chakra pools, such as Madara Uchiha, like Madara Uchiha, Unlike Madara, who had a side effect of the Uzumaki clan's diffusion with the Uzumaki and Senju clan's diffusion with the Uchiha, Hashirama didn't have. Hashirama was also born with a side effect. Immense chakra pool. So much chakra, in fact, that it was dense enough to control Biji and his connection with nature. His connection with nature and the fusion of his chakra, which were supposed to be Uzumaki chains, created the Grand Kekkei Genkai, or Kekkei Fake, would release Naruto said with a smile on his face, which means all I need to do is get a bit more connected to nature. That's also what I've been doing, Naruto said with a smirk on his face, as then, out of his palm, wood began to sprout. Could you imagine it? The fact of the matter being that Hashirama was actually half Senju, half Uzumaki. He was never full Senju. As a result, once the full Senju, with the Senju cells completely taking over Tobirama, he was cursed with a high affinity towards all chakra natures. But those high affinities fused as a result, creating his high affinity towards water. But I can tell you more. Within my endeavor towards the truth, I also learned this. With the side effects of the Uzumaki clans, once all of them fuse together, which I have effectively learned how to use, this happens, he says, as he looked towards Sasuke with his eyes, with his pupil getting smaller. And from certain points, there was a dot, and that dot began to spin, creating a half circle. Since I am not the full mixture, the greatest mixture, the grandest mixture of all of them, I am unable to use the full power of the Rinnegan. But, Naruto said with a smile on his face, all I have to do is this, as his Rinnegan began to all I have to do is this, he said, as he began to pump more chakra, as his Rinnegan then began to turn a grayish color instead of its blue. No, at first it was like his Rinnegan was like blue. Yeah, I'd say blue. But now it's leaning more towards a purplish gray. The side effect of my Kekkei Genkai, these red eyes. All I have to do is just focus and try and activate them with this activated as well, as the ring began to complete itself. Now, I have the eyes of the god of creation, or the sage of six paths, shall I say. Or this, he said with a smile on his face. Flashback history lesson. While Hagoromo was born with the ability of almost infinite creation, Hamura was different. His eyes held the ability, his eyes unknowingly held the ability, destruction of all things, which some Huaiga could possibly unlock if they were perfect Hyugas. But if they weren't, they couldn't unlock it. Since Hagoromo was slightly related to him, as in his other eye began to turn, as his other eye began to, the pupil in the rings began to fade, as the Byakugan was now within his eye, as it grew towards a deepened blue. Now, the eyes of all destruction, the eyes of the god of destruction, the eyes of the god of creation. Simple, Naruto said, with a smirk on his face. And you know, if you were to join my side, then you could possibly gain both of these eyes, Naruto said with a smirk on his face, looking towards Sasuke, as Sakura looked at Sasuke with a questioning face to see whether he would accept the deal. As Sasuke quickly said, "I'll join you, but only for the power." Good, good. Another shinobi. Another shinobi add to my ranks. And I'm guessing that you're gonna join automatically because of your Sasuke-kun. Naruto said, looking towards Sakura. As Sakura just said, just looked at Naruto and then blurted out the words, "Yes." Good, good. Also, did I tell you that the Hard Nodes have a special Kekkei Genkai called Scream Release? As that's going to be the end of this little nasty video. Thank y'all guys for liking, subscribing, and doing all that bull crap. Thank y'all. And this was more of a filler. No, it's not filler, but I was just trying to explain things because I'm trying to get deeper into the story and get more people interested into the story. Cause y'all gonna know some shit. Y'all gonna know, because everything that I just said will be heavily, I'm talking about, will heavily contribute to the next episode. And this will most likely will be most likely 20 part no, probably 21. Same as what if Naruto was neglected, except I've been getting smarter and I've been diving closer in towards, like, you know, the more like traverse things and more knowledge. So I've been trying to make the storyline a bit more cool. So yeah, that's gonna be it in this video. Make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and give us all of that.